This video is to go over the resources and what to expect in week 3. The objectives are to look at discrete probability distributions, continuous probability distributions, measurements for different types of data, and your data sources. So looking at your to-do list, in the business statistics book, we're looking over chapters 4 and 5. In chapter 5, focus on sections 1 and 2. And then in the research book, if you have it, we are going to focus on chapters 6 and 7. So chapters 6 and 7 cover measurement scales and then data sources. So if you don't have the research book, here are some sources for you. Looking at the different types of measurement scales and how you actually code them, male, female, MF, what's your hair color, brown, black, gray, blonde, what numbers could be associated with that. So just the 4 of those. So go ahead and look through that to figure out a little bit more on how you measure and put those nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio variables to scales. This next one is just an overall good intro to measurement and how it's used in statistics. So what is measurement? Again, going through those nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio, looking at differences between them, all of those things. This third one looks at the measurements of constructs. So what we look at for conceptualization, the operationalize, how you operationalize, there we go, how you operationalize them, and then looking kind of at the levels of measurement. And the last one talks about reliability and validity of measurements. So here's what this means: reliable and valid. So you're shooting at a target, you hit the middle. Valid but not very reliable means that you hit the target, but it's all over the place. And reliable but not valid means you've hit in the same area, but it's not close to the middle like we wanted. So go ahead and just read through that or skim through that so that you, if you don't have the book, to look over reliability and validity. This is actually table 6.3 from the research book, just looking at different types of variables, nominal, ordinal, and what type of the best measure of what's the best measure of central tendency? Do you know it? Is there a true zero? And those types of things that separate them. Looking into data sources, this first one deals with what quantitative versus qualitative is. So go ahead and look through that. It's a very short page. The next one is all looking at qualitative methods, because that's what one of the chapters we're looking at in that book is actually all about. This one's a little bit longer, looking at your qualitative research methods. Here's kind of your overview. Again, there's that comparing. This one actually gets into the ethical guidelines with qualitative research, and that's one thing that I do want you to focus on. Why is ethics important with qualitative work? What are the fundamental research ethics principles? So respecting people, justice, informed consent, and then somewhere in here, here it is. How do you protect confidentiality? So be sure you look through that just a little bit. And then this last one looks at your qualitative approaches. So different types that you could use. This one thing I wanted you to look at is the coding. So make sure you know how you're going to code your qualitative variables. All right, so then some videos to watch. I will be posting a few short videos on how to get some expected values from your discrete probability distribution. But these videos are here to help you understand probability distributions if you need it. When you're reading through the text, there's a lot of math. I don't want you to concern yourself with understanding and knowing what those formulas are. I want you to be able to actually apply them. So you need to just understand what is a discrete probability distribution. How would that be constructed? How would you analyze it? So these videos are just to help you understand what's actually in chapters 5 and 6 of the Donley book. The first one looks at constructing a probability distribution from a random variable. I think this one's like 11 minutes long, maybe, or is it 6? 6 minutes.
Let's say we define the random.
Or 7 minutes long. The next one is actually analyzing an example. And this one's about 4 minutes long. Yep.
Hugo plans to buy packs of.
So just another couple of videos to help you try to understand discrete probability a little bit more. This is a 30-minute video-ish that goes over, again, discrete probabilities and some examples. So if you're still not getting it, this type lecture might help. And then finally, another one from Khan Academy, looking at discrete versus continuous. Continuous is what is talked about in chapter 6. So what's the difference between a discrete video and a continuous random variable? And then you need to post your discussion responses for the case study and the question, or post your video if you decide to meet synchronously and just discuss those questions there. And then submit your chapter 3 homework and your research project for chapter 3 or for week 3. So we'll go through the last couple of things. Let me get week 3 up. So this week in your discussion forum, you're asked to elevate and measure the business strategy followed by a competing firm in an industry of your choice. What do you think would be relevant indicators to capture the firm's strategy or strategies? So what would you look at? That's what I'm asking for this week's discussion. It might be a good one for you to do in person because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of different industries if you are able to do synchronously. For your case study this week, I want you to tell me what type of analysis should you be running on the data this week from your case study. And then for your research project this week, look at your data, and I want you to select 3 of your variable columns that are quantitative ratio type data. For each of those columns, I want you to determine the details of the normal distribution. So if you're wondering about that, you need to look back in chapter 3, when you look at normal distribution. And then use Excel, find the mean, median, mode, and standard deviations for each of those 3 columns, so just the 3. And then you're also going to find the z-scores. If you didn't watch the video on z-scores from week 2, it is under week 2's videos because it goes with chapter 3 as well. You can use your own calculations. If you really want to calculate them, go ahead, but I would highly suggest you use Excel. And then for each of those 3 variables, tell me what do the z-scores mean, and are there any outliers? So that's what I am looking for in your week 3 applied assignment there. And I hope this video helps you understand what is coming in week 3. Have a great day.